Hi, this video is to help you assemble your flute and get your first sound out. So I'm going to take you through assembly first. The first thing you want to do when you open up your case is grab the middle joint, which is the longest part of the flute. Hold it in the palm of your hand, making sure not to crush any of the keys on top. So just the palm of your hand on the bottom here. And you're going to hold it like this. The next part that you're going to grab is the foot joint. The foot joint has some keys on the end, and we're going to attach the foot joint to the bottom end of the middle joint, which is the opposite end from where it shows the brand of your instrument. So mine says Armstrong here. That I know that is the top of the instrument. So I'm going to take this and put it on the opposite end. And I'm going to just hold both pieces in the palm of my hand, careful not to bend any of the keys. And anytime you're putting anything together assembly-wise, you always want to use a twisting motion. You never want to push things together. Just twist gently until it comes together. If you're experiencing any trouble with the twisting, you can use a very gentle lubricant on this non-shiny portion of the middle joint here. I usually use Vaseline. It's very cheap. You can buy it at the drugstore, and just a tiny dab of Vaseline around this circular part here on the end. And then attach your foot joint by twisting gently, and it'll go together very easily for you. You want to make sure here that the rod on the foot joint is going through the keys on the middle joint. Okay, these rods don't line up like that, and the keys don't line up like so. The rod goes through the center of the keys, and that is a perfect assembly right here. Okay, from here you take your head joint. Again, we just use a light, gentle twisting motion. And if you experience any trouble with that, again, you can use a little bit of the Vaseline right here on this non-shiny part on the head joint, just a tiny dab near the end. And then take this and just gently twist the parts together. Just a gentle twisting motion always. Okay. Now, let's talk about hand placement. Oh, before we do that, make sure that your head joint, the tone hole here, lines up perfectly with the keys of the middle joint. That will give you perfect assembly. So I always just look down at like a barrel here, and making sure that the tone hole lines up with the keys, the rod of the foot joint lining up into the center of the keys also. Okay. Now, with your left hand, which is going to be the hand closest to you when you're playing the instrument, you're going to put your thumb on the oar-shaped key on the bottom of the middle joint. That's where your thumb is placed. You'll notice that there are two keys here. There's the oar-shaped key, and then there's sort of a more circular teardrop-shaped key here. Make sure that your thumb goes on the oar-shaped key. This is the key that you're going to use most of the time when pushing your thumb down. From there, we take our first finger, our index finger, we skip the first key, and we hit the second one with our index finger. Skip the next one, and hit the next one with our second finger. Our ring finger goes here, and then our pinky actually rests on this teardrop shaped key called the A flat key. All right, making sure that you have like a nice, your elbow's gonna kind of pop out away from you a little bit. Now with your right hand, and this is pretty important, you want to make sure that when you place your fingers on the keys that your thumb is between your first and second finger, like so. I'm going to put my pinky on the teardrop shaped key closest to me on the foot joint, and then I'm just going to align the rest of my fingers on the next keys here in succession after this little key, keeping my thumb in between my first and second finger. And there you have it. There's your hand position. When you start to play the flute, make sure that you're sitting up really tall, shoulders square, and then you're going to bring the flute to you. All right, and for parents, make sure if you monitor your child's practice that you're not seeing them go like this. We don't go to the flute. This is really bad posture. You want to make sure the flute comes to you, like so. There is, on the tone hole of the head joint, this lip plate. The lip plate should go right against the chin And that sort of supports the flute rather than you supporting with holding on tightly with your hands. So the support comes from placing the lip plate against your chin like so. And from here, I can hold it very gently and make a sound. If you're not making a sound right away, flute players, remember, you can take the head joint off of your flute and go back to just playing the head joint by covering the hole at the end with your palm. Put the tone hole on the center of your lips and roll down. And that should give you good position. And then you just simply raise your jaw and then blow over the hole. If you go for a more whistle type feeling in your lips, you'll get the higher sound. And that's how you make your sound on the flute. Once you've got that, put the instrument back together. Make sure you align the tone hole with the keys every time. Give good hand placement. Bring the instrument to you, and then go ahead and blow. And that's the beginning of making a good sound on your flute. So good luck and enjoy playing flute.